Let me actually show you what Joe Biden, this guy who is completely out of touch, like he doesn't know what he's talking about. Let's play the video and take a listen what he is saying.
Both the people in northern Israel as well as southern Lebanon are able to go back to their homes and go back safely. And the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Defense, our whole team is working in the intelligence community to try to get that done. We're going to keep at it till we get it done.
Okay, so again, absolutely, I don't know, preposterous. What he's saying is so bizarre, so strange to even say those words. Right now, there is war going on, and he helped his country, his Zionist friends, his country. Literally, that's what his country is, Israel. He's helping his country to wage war against Hezbollah, against the people of Gaza every single day, every single hour of it. And he's talking about civilians going back to their homes and live there in safety and security. I mean, this guy is absolutely out of touch. His security team, whoever is briefing him on this matters, I mean, Anthony Blinken, we know he lies. They are lying big time. Now, there is this guy who is whining all the time, and that is none other than Donald Trump. He is becoming ever more desperate to win voters. Let's see what he has to say about Israeli voters.
The current polling has me with Jewish citizens, Jewish people that's supposed to love Israel. After having done all of that, having been the best president, the greatest president by far, a poll just came out. I'm at 40%. That means you got 60% voting for somebody that hates Israel. You can't let this happen. 40% is not acceptable. In my opinion, the Jewish people would have a lot to do with a loss if I'm at 40%.
Wow. So basically, wow, like he is putting all the blame squarely on Jewish people if he loses. A lot of Jewish people in the United States, they do not support him. They do not support the genocide in Gaza. Therefore, it's really not a good news for Trump campaign. But then again, we know who he's appealing to. He's appealing to the lobbyist, the Zionist lobbyist in Washington. Right now, as I have said, this war is going on in Lebanon between IDF Israel and Hezbollah, and I have shown you guys how bizarre it was for Biden to talk about sending those residents back to their homes in safety and security in the middle of this war, where United States, they are mostly responsible for the escalation. So this is what this health minister of Lebanon has to say about Israel's war crime. Take a listen.
I'd like to add that what is going on, the aggressions against the civilians indiscriminately, is a war crime, and it was clear. The officials at the United Nations, particularly the humanitarian people in the United Nations, have mentioned something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. This is war crime. What Israel did is nothing smart, nothing of genius as the Western medias, they're trying to portray Israeli action killing civilians in Lebanon. These are terrorist acts. But the Western media, they want us to believe that this is somehow a work of a genius country. This is nothing genius. This is war crime. This is terrorism. Now let's actually talk about the real news. What is happening, all the new development. You ready? So, okay, let's go with this. So Hezbollah now, they have rained rockets on Israel. Israeli military bases, intelligence headquarters under attack. Over 200 missiles shake northern Israel. So this is just the beginning of it, as we understand at the moment. What is coming in the coming days and weeks will be much worse. Hezbollah claimed multiple strikes on Israeli military bases and settlements just on Friday. And the interesting thing about this particular retaliation of Hezbollah is that this time they're not only targeting the old bases or the previously targeted bases by Hezbollah, but they're now expanding it Now they're targeting new bases of IDF Israeli military, especially those airfields. So Hezbollah announced new series of military operations, quote unquote, new series of military operations against Israeli sites. Hezbollah said its fighters bombed an Israeli position at Metula with a guided missile. Now, later on, Hezbollah, they shelled the Northern Command's air defense Basit Beria barracks. The group used Katyusha rockets. The Katyusha rockets are very, very deadly. They're very, very effective. A rocket that Israel, they fear the most among all the rockets that Hezbollah has. So you can easily assess the situation that they're using their best rockets to strike Israel. Hezbollah targeted headquarters of air and missiles defense in Keila Barracks and Alika Barracks, located north of Katzrin. The base was hit for the first time since the October 7th attack. So as I said, guys, these are all new target that Hezbollah is choosing, and therefore it is going to be an escalation and expansion of this war, of this retaliation from Hezbollah. Hezbollah hit several other military headquarters with Katyusha rockets. They attacked Yoav barracks and Yarden barracks as part of their response. Israeli media confirmed. Now this is where things get very, very interesting. This is what Israel fears the most from Hezbollah so far. Obviously, Hezbollah has missiles like, ballistic missile. They have in their arsenal. They have some missiles from Russia, but normally they don't use those, because if they use those missiles, it means more bloodshed. I mean, this would mean huge number of casualties on the side of the Israeli civilians. So that's why they do not use those kind of missiles. However, what normally they use, which is very, very effective, is the anti-tank missile. So Israeli media, they confirmed an anti-tank missile was launched toward Har Dov area. Over 200 rockets were launched just on Friday by Hezbollah, and this is very, very significant, because the last time when they launched this number of rockets in just one day was back in August for the revenge retaliation of Fuad Shukr, Hezbollah's commander, and they launched around little over 300 rockets. But just on Friday, without much preparation, because that time when they launched those 300 rockets, they were prepared to strike Israel in a big way. But this time, they really acted very, very fast. They were not so much prepared, but nevertheless, they were able to have 200 rockets going to Israel. Now, there is another report that I would share with you with more details, because I think that particular report deserves its own time, because this will include Iran. We have now reports suggesting that Iran is getting ready, they're gearing up, and they're preparing all the missiles, and whether it's ballistic cruise, we do not know exactly what kind of missile they'll be launching. But for the killing of Ismail Haniyeh, the assassinated chief of Hamas, they are now preparing to launch an attack on Israel. Remember, that attack was postponed because they thought that, Israel could be tamed, they could be managed, they could even reach a ceasefire with Hamas, but obviously they crossed all red lines. And in fact, right now, Israeli government, they have announced that right now there is no red line between Hezbollah and IDF. Why? Because they know they have crossed it all, and Hezbollah will not care about any red line at the moment. Obviously, with that, we know Macron, the French president, he is now asking to show restraint, and this is exactly what the Western leaders, they do. They come out after Israel will do something horrible, will conduct a terrorist attack on a country or commit a genocide. After that, they will come out and be like, oh, we need to have peace, you guys calm down, don't fight. But where were your statements when the Israeli terrorist organization IDF launched those attacks on Lebanon? And obviously Macron supported Lebanon, and he said Lebanon people, they do not deserve this, what happened to them. But then again, the Western leaders, take for example German Chancellor Scholz, he did nothing, he said nothing. And most of the Western leaders, they are keeping it quiet. Keir Starmer, for example, UK Prime Minister, is quiet on this terrorist attacks. Only Macron is speaking out and nobody else is. But again, this is the level of hypocrisy they will show, and we already knew it from the get-go. Thank you guys for your comments. If you have any more, leave a comment. I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Take care.